We are here. This is Lambo and Matt's World of Sports, but we still talking about sports. But I brought back for the fourth or fifth time, maybe within the past 8 or 9 months, the number one greatest YouTuber, the greatest prankster of all time, Deer, from NonStop TV. They just reached 57K subscribers, so they're on their way to 100,000 subscribers, obviously. But the boy is back. And if you watched the previous episode, he did say the Detroit Lions was going to make the Super Bowl. They were very, very, very close. But we will talk about that within the next 5 seconds. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Total Pro Nation. We want to appreciate you for 15 million views and 112 K subscribers as we continue the journey. We want to thank you, Silent Sports Network, for the platform and putting us on your website the other day. So we're only getting bigger and better. Without further ado, all right, go ahead. Tell me about what happened to those Lions now, because y'all were up 24-7, and then Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan they been back in the game. Tell us what happened.
Well, first of all, before I get into the madness and just the overall disappointment of the night, because it started off so glorious for us. Honestly, it did. The first half was amazing, and then you could just see it slowly coming back down to where Detroit usually is. But I want to shout out you for having me back on. Love the show. Shout out Totem Pole, best in the sports podcasting business. They know what they're doing, so show love to them. And no one applies more pressure than them. So I appreciate them bringing me back. And congrats to Totem Pole on the 15 million views. That's an insane milestone. And we're going to keep it rolling tonight. But we got to get into the bad stuff. Right. So, I want to start this off a little bit like this. No one expected Detroit to be in the conference championship, let alone make the Super Bowl. No one did. All the young players on their team, young coaches, literally, this is like their first time in this situation. They've never been in the playoffs in this situation with a good team in Detroit. Like, this is the first time at all. Not even Barry did this. Like, this is uncharted territory for Detroit. So I want to say anybody in Detroit and all fans should still be happy regardless. But it is very disappointing, especially when they fumbled the bag low-key. Up 24-7. Couple questionable fourth down, go for it. I'm not sure. I didn't agree. I'm going to be honest. I mean, just in my mind, you take the points in the playoffs. It's the playoffs. You cannot – I like the Dan Campbell go for it. He did it all year. He's staying true to who he is, and I do like that. I like he stayed true to who he was all season, and that's the reason they got there. But in the playoffs, I feel like you got to evolve a little bit. You got to take the points when you get them because you don't know when you're going to get them again. And if you think about it, they lost by 3. They get those 2 field goals, we might not be talking about this right now. That's just how it is. And I think if you take those 2 field goals, it's just a completely different momentum change. I don't even know if the Niners have 34 points if they take those 2 field goals. It's just a completely different game that could have been laid out if they had just taken what was given to them. And I get you want to, take over the game, go for it on fourth down, keep it rolling, because that would be a killer. It would kill them. But you can see the other side of things when we take the loss. And it's sad to know how close Detroit was to their first Super Bowl. And it's almost like the Niners I don't want to say they don't deserve it, but they were given the Super Bowl. They were handed it because of the mistakes Detroit made.
Oh.
And there was, the pick. Purdy didn't play. He ran it nice. I like Purdy scrambling. He played a good game scrambling. He got around the pocket real nice. They couldn't get him hemmed in. Hutchinson was a no factor. That surprised the hell out of me. And then obviously the Detroit just not being amazing in the secondary. It showed its colors there in the second half. And just, overall disappointment, but again, happy for the season Detroit had. 30 years without winning a playoff game. They go to the conference championship. I think it's an amazing stepping stone. So, you got to think of it in 2 different aspects. But, again, it's just overall sadness right now because we should have been in the Super Bowl.
You know why you said it too? Because the Cincinnati Bengals did not make the playoffs this year either. What are your thoughts on those Cincinnati Bengals? I know Joe Burrow was hurt, and that devastating injury he had on Thursday night against the Baltimore Ravens. It was just questionable. It was just terrible. And I like Joe Burrow. I'm a big Joe Burrow guy. I think he's way better than JJ McCarthy. There's some people that think JJ McCarthy was better than Joe Burrow. No, 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 no. Those are two different teams. LSU passed the ball more than they ran the ball, and Michigan is a running team, and that's why you have two good running backs in Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum. But it's a different discussion for later. How did you feel about the Bengals? Did you knew y'all weren't gonna make the playoffs when once Joe Burrow was done for the year?
That's an interesting question. Yes, initially I thought we were done. I thought we won't win another game the entire year. Burrow's out, we're done. Like but I didn't know who Browning was, so I want to start off with that. I didn't know who Brown. No one did, obviously. No one knew who he was, and I don't like the throwing around system quarterback. That's what Joe Burrow is because Browning played well. I think it's a little bit more of no, our team is like that, and Browning had some of the best players at each position which we do. Jamar, T, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon, these guys can play. He's got offensive weapons. And you put a decent enough quarterback in that situation, he's going to play like Browning did. Now, if Browning goes to another team, I might try to play without Jamar Chase and all them. But I didn't. Once we got on a little roll, I thought we might be a wildcard team. We might make something happen. I don't know. I mean, but initially, no, I thought we were done. But this is how I feel, honestly, watching the playoffs happen, watching everything unfold the way it did. If Burrow was healthy, I don't think it's a question. We're in the bowl. The Chiefs were not that good. The Ravens held them to 17. The Chiefs only scored 17 points. Could only get 10 on them. The Bengals in that game were winning that game. I don't care what you say. If Burrow's got as many chances as the Ravens did tonight, we're winning that game. We're going to the Super Bowl, and we will kill the Niners just like we did in week 5, week 6. I forget what week it was. Early in the year when we beat them by 3 touchdowns. We beat the Niners. We beat some of the best teams all year. We struggled in conference. I don't know why. Our coach needs to get that figured out. He's struggled with it all his career. We can't beat the Browns. We can't beat the Ravens in the regular season. I don't know what it is. We got to get it figured out. That's the reason we missed the playoffs. We went 8-2 outside the division, lost every game in the division. I don't know how that happens. We're a great team who just sometimes doesn't show up.
What do
And
y'all
injuries obviously killed us, but yeah, that's
what
how
do
I
y'all
feel.
need? What do y'all need to fix as far as because the draft is coming up in 2024? What are y'all main pieces? I know y'all need some offensive linemen. Offensive linemen is always key, but do y'all need some key defensive guys too? I think y'all losing some guys. Y'all lost the offensive coordinator. I think he's the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand he's worked with Joe Burrow, Peyton Manning, and all these other guys. You're losing the coordinator. So what's the direction for the Bengals? How can they get back to the championship? How can they dethrone those Kansas City Chiefs if the Baltimore Ravens can't do it?
So, I mean, the answer is simple, simpler than we think. It's Burrow needs to be healthy because that's what it comes down to. If Burrow ain't healthy, we ain't going nowhere. I mean, that and the offensive line situation is hard because I used to think our O line was really that bad, and they're not the best. But I also think it's kind of how Burrow plays. He holds on to the ball until the last second. So I think regardless of who you put in there, he's going to take some sacks because he waits and waits for that big play. And that's just how he is, and it helps us and it hurts us sometimes. But we usually figure it out when he's there. We just need him to be there. If he ain't there, we ain't got a chance. And I do think in the draft upcoming, we need to address possibly getting a speed threat in the backfield, a running back. I want to keep Mixon. He's under contract still for I think another year, and I think people on our fan base are talking about cutting him, even though he put up 1,400 all-purpose yards again, 12 touchdowns. He's one of the best backs in the league still. But we need a speed threat, a Jahmyr Gibbs type, something out of the backfield that you can throw to, get some, I don't know, just a change of pace. I'd like that. I think the rest of the team, it's defensive wise, a very young team on the secondary, the back end. I think they just need reps. Daxton Hill looked great at times this year. He's just in the second or third year. It's his first year starting full time with Jesse Bates and Von Bell leading last year. I just think they need reps. Jordan Battle from Alabama, the rookie, came on late, strong as shit. So I'm hoping he continues what he was building on. Obviously, losing DJ Reader, Cameron Taylor-Britt. We dealt with some injuries, even on defense. People don't even really talk about that. It was just a injury-ridden year for our like best players. T. Higgins barely played, I swear. Like, made it a couple games. He looked good, like T, but he wasn't right all year. But it was just, I think we figured out. Every once in a while, teams have a bad year with injuries, and that was our year. We had a great team, and I think we could have made some noise if we were fully healthy.
Fully healthy. So you talk about reps, reps, and reps all the time. It's
Mm-hmm.
basically like reps. It's basically like reps with your platform. You know how the common questions always pops up when people always say, "How do you get so big? How do you do this? How do you do that?" How how did you make adjustments on your nonstop channel? Because, like I said, I think you had a finish strong year in 2023, especially the video you posted a couple weeks ago, the funniest pranks, and of course, ordering pizza on a speedo was very, very goddamn fucking funny. It was
I
great
appreciate that.
fucking content. It was awesome. You make the people laugh. So, what adjustment did you have to make? Because it was kind of in the same situation where you had to stall in a little bit of a fallout, and then you kind of like up in the range that you want to be, but don't be complacent. So, what had to change? Like, what was the mindset? What had to change?
I think the biggest thing is, yeah, we did get complacent. Obviously, once you hit a certain point where you're like everything's doing well, and you expect it to keep going regardless of like anything, and you kind of get stagnant. You just sit there and you're like, oh, I don't have to do as much as I used to because we're in a good spot. But that's not true at all. I mean, it goes away just quick as it comes. And for us, it was not just that being noticing what we can't just do nothing. We got to think and completely, constantly evolve and think of new shit. But we just got to make sure our quality is over our consistency. And that almost sounds weird, but I don't want to post content just to post it to meet a drop date criteria. I want the content I'm putting out to be, I think it's funny. Like it's just good content. Like we worked our asses off. This is funny as shit. People are gonna love it. I don't want to just post, to meet a date. Oh, we gotta post every Monday. We gotta do no, because sometimes pranks don't work like that, and people think, oh, we gotta drop every week just so we blow up. That's not how it works. It's more about the quality and the consistency of you posting quality content, and that's what our direction over the last couple of months is. And I still would like to post even more than we do. It's just, especially with pranks, it's not something you can force out week to week. I mean, you can, but repetition and the more time you have with pranks opens up the possibility to you getting better reactions, getting more content. It just the more time you have, the prank videos get even better. And I just trying to stay ahead of the curve too. So we work on multiple videos at a time now. That's really helped us. We're trying to stay ahead of the curve. So we do this one day, our next video after the video we're posting coming up the next day. So we're working on separate videos at the same time, and it helps us stay ahead of the curve. So we always have content constantly being made. And then again, I'm just trying to do something at least 1 or 2 times a day to improve your business is the biggest thing.
How was that college tour like? I know last time we spoke, it was right before you went on the college tour. You were beefing with college fans. You went to a Penn State Ohio State game. You went to Ohio State Michigan game. You might have entered a Tennessee Georgia game according to the schedule. But
We did not make that one.
How was that tour though? How was the tour? Like, what did you learn from that? You get most of your views beefing with college fans. Keep that shit up.
So, I mean, the main thing obviously is, yeah, I mean, our fan base loves watching us do that shit. And I love doing it too. But at the same time, I don't want to make that like our whole brand. Obviously, I want our fans to come to a point where they're almost waiting, anticipating those videos, but it's not going to be all we do. Because then that's what builds up the hype. Well, wait, it's beefing season? College football's back? Oh, all right, we're ready. That's how I want it to be. Like almost people waiting for that content. And I wish we were at that Tennessee Georgia game. We unfortunately weren't able to make it because it was actually one of our boys' birthday. My cameraman Gabe, it was his birthday, so we were doing some family stuff with him, and it didn't work out. But that would have been an amazing game to get to because we killed all three of the other ones, and I know that Tennessee Georgia one would have went nuts. But I mean, we realized quick we still got it because we did hit that little stagnant point where we weren't doing what we should be, and we weren't doing as well as usual, and then we went back to beefing, and it felt like home. Like we were back in what we love, back in getting the clips we like. I mean, it just, everything came back together and just fit like a puzzle, and it just worked.
The interaction thing. When you did the Penn State, there's an interaction that was funny, really funny when you got in this black dude's face. It was really really funny. Were you about to fight the motherfucker?
No, never, never. I will never fight. I'll let someone hit me. I won't hit them back. I mean, if they hit me, obviously I had the chance to. But I mean, I know
You're
being the
so nice.
troll.
Why are you so nice? Are you just acting on camera, or is this the real you?
No, this is me. I'm a generally nice person. I love loving other people, and I always give everybody. If you've noticed in our beefing videos, I may come off hot, but if they give me respect back, even with me coming off a little hot, I'm gonna show them love. I'm not gonna be mean the entire. Like I'm not gonna say shit the entire time, and I give everybody that chance. But if you come at me right after I come off hot, I might milk it a little bit, and that's just how trolling works. So I mean, it's just I love when people love what we're doing and can take a little bit of banter. I love that shit. I love banter with people. I mean, it's not just words. It's not like we're throwing hands, but obviously if they throw hands, I'm not gonna say anything about it. And it makes me even happier when I know I said the smallest shit. Like I said, oh look, I'm wearing your colors. Motherfucker starts cussing me out, trying to fight me. I'm not scared. Like cool, hit me. I don't give a shit. I used to play football. I used to get hit all the time. I can take a hit, especially when I know it's over something stupid and me saying something like nothing. I walk. You've seen the videos. I walk up. I don't say anything crazy most of the times. I say
Yeah,
something. Look what I'm wearing or whatever, and they freak out. And I'm not gonna. I don't know. I don't care. Hit me. I love that shit. I don't know. It pumps me up, gets my blood flowing. I mean, it's weird, but I don't know. I mean, I don't give a shit. I can take a hit.
the Super Bowl is February 11th. Obviously, we know the Chiefs and the 49ers are going to be in the Super Bowl. You went to the Super Bowl last year. You were beefing. Who was in the Super Bowl last year? I forgot. You were beefing with fans
Eagles.
last year in the Super
Yeah.
Bowl. So, will NonStop TV be making an appearance at the Super Bowl in 2 weeks?
90% chance, yes. We're still working out the playing details and making sure we can get to Vegas. Vegas makes it tougher just because it's a little bit harder place to get. Arizona last year, we had a homie who lived down there, made it real easy for us to get there, and we're thinking about staying with him again. We just got to get the playing details worked out and making sure it's all in our schedules. But it's looking, like I said, 90% chance. We're going to be there. I'm going to be there. So yes, you can expect that video.
Man, that was a great video last year. Beefing with the Super Bowl fans. You having that Eagles jersey on, that Carson Wentz jersey on. That was great entertainment. So, speaking on 2023, what was the best video that you think you made this year? Like that you really took your time and detail and editing. Like, hey, I really like this shit out of the other ones that I made.
What's crazy is it's beginning of the year, very early last year, January, Party Boy. Obviously, I'm a Jackass fanatic. I love Jackass and the boys, and I just feel like early in the year last year, we were at our best spot for creativeness and just really feeling like we're working hard, we're consistent, we're doing all this stuff, and that's when we made Party Boy. Video did great. One of our best out of the gates was balling. Obviously, not many people are doing Party. No one's doing it besides Jackass. We did it after them 20 years later. So it obviously generated a bunch of, oh shit, he did that? Oh my God. No one else would take that. It's a hard prank to do, but that was by far my favorite video of the year. And obviously a little bit has to do with because I love Jackass. They're my inspiration. And the fact that I was able to do it and not only do it, but people watched it and was like, respect, man. Like Chris Pontius would like this. He would love this, showing appreciation to the GOATs. And I love just showing respect to the people who inspired me to do what I do. So that's one of my favorite videos on the channel, regardless of the year.
Barstool, all right? TikTok, you're a big TikTok guy. You got a big following on TikTok. Barstool retweeted you and your boys' video about y'all at the gas station changing IDs. What was that moment like when you saw that Barstool retweeted it and it went all over the internet? I think that was one of the most greatest videos of all time. Just having two dudes at the gas station laughing their ass off. And they went on with it. That's why you can't take life so seriously sometimes.
Exactly. And that clip is like I said, we got a little bit lucky. And YouTube is luck. You get a little bit lucky sometimes when you're doing repetition. You're doing it. You're constantly doing it. But we ran into the right dudes that day. Two of the coolest dudes I've ever pranked, honestly. If you want me to be, like, you couldn't have picked a better duo for me to do it to. Laughing their asses off, loving it at a job they probably don't want to be at, and it made their day even better. And that's how I feel like most people should. That's what we're trying to accomplish when we're doing a prank. We're not trying to piss you off. Hopefully, you get a little laugh out of what we're doing because, you're dealing with bullshit most of the times, and we're just in here being weird, and we're not being disrespectful usually. I mean, beefing obviously is a different category, but um, we're not being like disrespectful. We're just trying to make everybody laugh, have a nice little smile, make you see something you don't usually see, so your day's not as normal, and we can hopefully make it a little bit more interesting. But like I said, that clip I think is infamous. It's done 20 mil across all platforms that I posted it on. It constantly will do well on our YouTube if I post it. Every time I post it, people love those coworkers, love the prank, love how kind-hearted it is. I mean, obviously, there's no, like I said, disrespect, no ill intention in it, just to make people laugh. And a little side note, we're actually dropping Fake IDs Part 2 this week coming up. There's some banger clips in there, too. So be around the way for that.
I'll be the first one to watch that. I got my post notifications on for NonStopTV. Please have those post notifications on. And
I haven't
please,
told anybody that, so that's an
I ain't
insider
saying shit.
information.
I ain't saying shit.
That's
They gonna
insider
have to. They
information.
gonna have to watch this, and then they gonna have to figure out. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna act like you didn't say anything to me, and I'm just gonna act like I was just blindfolded by this chair that I'm on. But
just be ready. Just be ready. It's a nice
ready.
one.
I'm always ready. By the way, as you said, let's talk about complacency and whatnot. Did you think this was gonna be your purpose, making YouTube videos, pranking? Because you got a big following so fast. Do you want this to be the end goal? Do you want this to be your main job without working for somebody else?
Without a question. I mean, that was the main reason we started. We saw what Jackass did early, and we saw what Nelk grew into. They worked and worked. It wasn't overnight. They worked for 11 years straight. And I looked at that and I was like, that's something I could fall in love with. I pranked growing up off camera all the time. I was always class clown, whatever you want to say, messing with people. I did it off camera all the time. I love doing it. That's how I got through my days, making other people laugh. I love making people laugh, making them smile, get them through their day. And I didn't even know YouTube was an option until I saw people like Nelk, people like Loaf, all these prankers who came out, and that's what gave me the oh shit, maybe I can do this because I think I'm kind of. I don't know. I don't want to be cocky. I think I might be kind of funny. I don't know. Let me try this thing out and see what happens. And I'm lucky enough that people, for the most part, do agree. I mean, they think I'm a kind of funny guy, and they love watching me. And I want to, if I can make it a job, it's probably the only thing in the world that I can see myself doing full heartedly, not like no stress. I mean, obviously there's a little bit of stress with anything you do, but stress that I don't want. I want the YouTube stress because it's something I can literally sit on my computer for at 2 a.m. in the morning, work until 2 p.m. the entire night, not sleep. I can edit the entire. I don't give a shit because I love what I'm doing, and I don't want a job where I feel like God, I hate this. I can't wait to get off. That's not what YouTube is to me. I love anytime we go out to film. We're going out to film, have fun, like with my boys, with my brothers. We do what we want to do, like literally whatever we want to do that day, we can go do. And that's just what YouTube brings you. And it's an amazing opportunity if you're blessed enough to get the audience and people mess with you.
If you love it, you would do it for free. If you love it.
Oh yeah. I mean, we
Easy
did it for
pull.
free for a long time, and most people do, and they're like, obviously, they're always chasing the monetization. And once we got that, it felt amazing to know we're getting rewarded for the content we're putting out. But I mean, again, we've had months where we don't make a ton of money. I don't give a shit. I don't care. This is me, and I'm putting what I love doing out on the internet. And people are gonna say what they want, but a lot of people like it, and I'm getting people through their day, I hope, and making them smile a little bit, and that's all I care about at the end of the day. If I don't need money at the end, if I'm respected as, oh, this guy made my life a little bit easier, made my day. I was having a bad day. I watched this video, it made me laugh. that means the world to me more than anything. I don't care about the money. If I'm making your day a little bit easier, thank you, because that's all I want.
That's all you would. You watch basketball? Are you an NBA college guy?
Big LeBron guy. I don't watch college. Never been. I watch March Madness. I do
March
watch
man.
March Madness. I'm not like
NBA.
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 All Lakers. All Lakers.
Okay.
I'm a Hornets fan, but we're not
Okay.
good. So
Okay. So let me ask you about this. If you caught up with the NBA, do you like the in season tournament thing? Here's why. The Lakers won the in season tournament. I'm not disrespecting that. I felt like it was an AAU tournament, to my opinion. But if the great Kobe Bean Bryant was alive, he would not take that as a fucking ring. Do y'all count that as a ring? Because some of y'all Lakers
no,
fans are counting that shit as a damn ring. And I don't think
no,
it's a
no,
ring
no.
until you win the NBA Finals.
I'm not a delusional Lakers fan. I'm not even really I'm a Bron fan. I like LeBron, and I'm obviously being from Ohio. You gotta like LeBron. You gotta respect him a little bit, but I just once LeBron leaves, I'm honestly appreciating the greatness that he brings. You got to realize once he leaves, I don't know, maybe Wemby. Who's the next LeBron? Like who's gonna make you want to watch the NBA? I don't. I don't see a character like that, and we got to respect him while he's here. Because once he's gone, I don't know, man. The NBA and the league's gonna be in a tough spot because some of these stars that have been making the league over the last couple of decades they ain't gonna be here anymore. So it's gonna be a weird spot for me, especially being a huge LeBron fan. But the in-season tournament, I think it's all right. Some people are gonna take it serious, some people aren't. Obviously, the Lakers did. I think what it showed is LeBron doesn't care about the regular season, but he can turn on a switch, and the Lakers might be one of the best teams in the league, which I think might happen in this playoffs upcoming. They're coasting right now, so they're like 23 and 22 or something, like a little bit over 500. Maybe they're at 500. I don't know if they played today. Again, I'm not a Lakers fan, so I don't pay attention every. I'm a football fan, but LeBron fan. But I think the Lakers are going to be a tough out in the playoffs upcoming because I do think they have that switch. They know like we can coast a little bit as long as we make the playoffs. We can make some noise, and I think that's how LeBron has worked the last 5 or 6 years. He doesn't care that much about regular season, so we'll see. He's trying to stay healthy. That's what I think his main goal is.
Who do you think is the greatest basketball player of all time? Is Michael
LeBron.
Jordan or LeBron
No,
James?
I haven't. Okay, I want to say this with all due respect because I haven't watched MJ play, so I've heard a lot of good stuff about him, but I don't think you can have the accolades LeBron has, the longevity he has, all-time leader in points. And I think people who use the fact that he's lost, 6 finals or something like that as a negative.
4 or 5, maybe.
Yeah, the fact that he went to 10 straight finals or not 8, 10, was it 8 straight or something like that? He was always in the finals. What other player?
He was always in the finals, but I ain't going to admit that was a weak Eastern Conference. But go ahead.
It was.
That shit was weak.
But that's not easy. We gotta think about it. That's not easy. People aren't doing that now. Like besides, who else is doing that? No one. LeBron did that, and I have so much respect for the fact that he has worked on the way he worked on his body. Like people always say, oh, he's never had that major injury. Well, it's because he put so much into his body and his work ethic that he's not had that ACL injury or that crazy knee or calf injury that took Kobe out, took all these guys out. He works on his body, puts $1 million plus into his body every year, and I don't know. He's the GOAT for me because I grew up watching greatness, and I'm sure a lot of people who watched MJ can say the same thing. But LeBron's my GOAT, and I think in a one-on-one game, crazy if you take an MJ over LeBron. This is too. Come on now.
Is it because of his size or what?
Size. LeBron's even a little bit. He's a better 3-point shooter than MJ. So what's MJ really taken from that? I don't know.
You say he's a better 3-point shooter than MJ?
MJ wasn't a good 3-point shooter like that. No, and LeBron's not the best, but he also takes a lot of crappy threes, being the best player on his team.
Oh, you talking about the LeBron that takes the one-legged three? He did last year against the Denver Nuggets. Took that little.
He can get on a little streak now. LeBron's a better 3-point shooter than MJ. I don't care what they say. LeBron he's a nice shooter when he gets hot. He can shoot nice, and then going to the hoop. I don't even have to. I mean, MJ was nice too, but I'm taking Bron every day. He can go get his bucket whenever he wants at the hoop. That's easy. I mean, he's done it his whole career. And then averaging 25, 24 points a game in his 20th year. You're gonna tell me MJ's gonna do that? I don't know. He ain't like that.
Wait. MJ would do that if he didn't play baseball. MJ would have done that if he didn't play baseball for a
He
year.
was an
You know?
athlete. I got respect for baseball too. I
He
played baseball,
he
but
played baseball for a year and a half, but he still came back and won 3 more championships.
on the Wizards, I can't give. It just
The
wasn't.
Wizards was falling down. The Wizards were
Yeah.
never even a good team. He
The
went to a
Lakers.
bad team.
So did LeBron. The Lakers were not in a good spot when LeBron came. You
I
can't
mean,
tell me they were.
they weren't. Kobe Bryant already retired. They were already
Mm-hmm.
bad by the
They
time
had a
Kobe.
terrible roster, and it was surprising he went there. So I mean, he built. Obviously, he got AD, but you want me to be honest, AD's not the best.
AD is the most inconsistent player of all time.
And he's kind of a pussy.
And I'm a Kentucky fan when it comes to college basketball. That man inconsistent as shit.
He got all the
Inconsistent.
talent in the world too, and that's what makes it so frustrating. This man could be so good if he just, go do it. Like I mean, I still think he works as hard as LeBron does, and I wish he did because he's so well rounded in what he could do defensively, offensively. It hurts knowing how good he could be if he really had that work. I feel like he doesn't have that work ethic. I feel like that's what it comes down to. And LeBron, I feel like, tries to instill that in him, and to a certain extent, it's working a little bit this year. I think AD's only missed like 2 games. I think it's
I'm
working a little
surprised
bit.
on this 2 games by the time
Yeah.
it hit January. I'm very
Yeah,
surprised.
no, very surprising. And I was actually watching. Was it last night? I think he got hurt during the game. Goes to the
Or
locker
that
room.
Warriors game when it was like 145,
Yep.
146.
Yep, and he left during the game. I thought he was done. Usually, he's done. He's not. Once he leaves, he's gone. He came back in. That was like, okay, well maybe he's learned a little bit. He's I'm gonna fight through this. I know we need this win. AD needs to do that more. He needs to show that heart, and I feel like he doesn't do it enough. And I hope LeBron's doing what he can to be like, AD, I want you to be the number 1 guy on the team because he should be. LeBron's getting older. If LeBron's your number 2, you got a very good shot at winning if AD's the number 1, and he's playing like it. But we'll see what happens.
You're telling me that this Lakers team could beat the defending champs of the Denver Nuggets?
Without a doubt.
Say that one more time.
Without a doubt, because they got LeBron. I love Jokic. Any team that has LeBron has a chance. I don't care. And they got Reeves. They got talent around him. D'Lo is inconsistent as well.
What's gonna happen in that trade deadline? You know the trade deadline happens to All-Star. What's gonna happen in that trade deadline? They're going to get rid of everybody.
I'm expecting D'Lo to get traded. I don't know if it's the right move because I'm not sure who they're going to bring in. That's going to be like some massive upgrade over him because I do think D'Lo's got enough talent. Like if he's on, D'Lo's a great point guard to have. He's a pretty good passer. He has some good vision. Can strap. He can shoot when he's consistent. Obviously, he's a defensive liability. He's not the best on defense, but you're going to have those players. You need some more. I feel like the Lakers need a little bit more of that offense because Reeves, again, a little bit inconsistent. Again, they just need more consistency with their guys, and I feel like trading them off, getting a new guy in, I'm not sure how it's going to help the consistency and the cohesion of the group. I feel like having the same group for a longer time is going to help more than anything. So I think the best move would be to keep D'Lo, but I'm not sure I see him staying. That's why he's been balling lately, which is so weird to me. D'Lo is so inconsistent, and then the trade deadline comes closer, man starts balling out. I don't know what was in his head, or like, I don't want to get traded. Oh, keep me here. This is how good I can be. Well, then let's see it the rest of the year. Don't be dropping 30 and then the next 3 games drop 2 and 3 and just shoot like crap. I don't get the whole inconsistency with him, and I don't know. It's a weird situation.
I tell you this. You know the All-Star's been rigged for a while. The All-Star NBA All-Star game's been rigged for a while. How did you feel when you heard that Steph Curry was fully healthy and he missed the All-Star? No Steph Curry in the All-Star game.
I just, I don't think they, he's at a certain point where I feel like he probably doesn't, he just, I guess I don't want to say he doesn't care. Like he's happy to be an All-Star. I don't know. He's been to so many finals and.
That's same for LeBron. Same for LeBron too.
I guess LeBron's got a certain respect, though, and that's why LeBron's one of the GOATs. He has a certain respect. He always shows up for the smallest thing. It don't matter what it is. LeBron's going to show love to the game. But, I mean, I can feel what Steph is – he wants to hold out because he wants to, make sure his health is good for the rest of the year. The Warriors aren't in the best spot right now, having a kind of a rough start here and getting booed occasionally, which I don't agree with either, by the way. Disrespectful as shit after Steph Curry won 4 championships for your team. they're having their first really rough year and you're going to start booing. I don't like that. But I can see why Steph's doing what he's doing because he's dealt with ankle injuries prior in his career. He's dealt with all these other things. He wants to make sure he's good for the second half of the year because they need to make a push. So they're kind of, I think, out of the playoff picture right now. So they kind of need him to be healthy.
How do you feel about that Draymond suspension? Do you think something's wrong with Draymond when he punched somebody? Do you think something wrong with Draymond? How you feel about Draymond? He just came back like a week ago after he be suspended for a month. How you feel about Draymond? Do you think that the Warriors dynasty is over?
Oh, hell no. No. I mean, it's wrapping up, but I think they got a little bit of life still. I do. I seen a stat, and I don't know how much I should trust this, but the plus minus when Draymond's on the court is insane when he's off the court. The Warriors are not the same team without Draymond. Not even close. They're negative without him. When he's on the court, bringing that intensity, bringing that defensive ability, bringing that mindset where I don't give a shit. I'm a dog. That's how he feels. They're, I don't know, plus 10, plus 12 in most games. They win with Draymond. So, like, the people who say Draymond's not important and he shouldn't be there, well, then the Warriors wouldn't have as many rings as they have, and they wouldn't be as good as they are because I've seen the direct correlation of why they keep him and why he's a great passer, great defensive player, super smart player. He knows how to get in people's head, and you need a dude like that who can get in people's head and rattle them a little bit because it does impact the game. And we've seen that before multiple times with Draymond. So I think it goes hand in hand. So obviously he's going to make mistakes. He's going to go overboard sometimes, but you kind of got to deal with that with a player like Draymond. And I think all the Warriors players know what he brings to the table. So, I mean, I think it's amazing to have him back off that suspension. He gets a little crazy sometimes, obviously punching people. And I don't know about all that, but yeah, no, I think he's super important to the Warriors' cohesion and making sure they're consistent and winning because we've seen it. That's what he does. Whenever he's on the court, they're a tough team to beat.
So, learning from you making YouTube and stuff, um, I think when we had Coach Old School in a very long time ago, if you could refresh your memory a little bit, I don't know how much beer you drunk or how much weed you smoked in the past. But Key 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 Michael Key, you did a little bit of research on that in the past. Um, what have you taken from people? Because you say you've learned and take from people here and there to try to not only develop your character but try to learn. What things do you normally take to make yourself a better content creator? I can't remember the word that I want to say, but I'll probably figure out in 5 seconds. But how do you make adjustments into trying to be on top of the YouTube game so you can become the next Mr. Beast or better, or that you set the standard for YouTube Nation in general?
I feel like the biggest takeaway I usually get from watching people like that, Mr. Beast, or in pranks, like some people at the top of the game, like Loaf, Nug, all these people. But it's the work ethic more than anything. So I don't want to, because in what we do, pranks and more personality driven videos, I always try to be myself, and I think that's the most important thing. I don't want to copy out someone else's wave to the point where I'm not me, because that's why we started the channel, doing pranks that I thought was funny, that me and my homies thought was funny, that we just do, and stuff we laugh at. So I don't want to bite someone's sound too much to the point where, like, oh wait, whose video is this? No, I want them to know this is a nonstop video. This is an almost dear video. This is some funny stuff that only they could do because there's some weirdos and they like having fun with people. But the work ethic, usually I get off I watch a lot of podcasts from these guys. Like a lot of these prankers do podcasts on the side and stuff like that. And my biggest takeaway is watching those and seeing how they work, seeing the amount of stuff they do to keep everything rolling the way it is, so the consistency doesn't get stagnant. You want to keep the consistency going. So just work ethic. I like to watch. Oh, I do this. I wake up at 8 a.m. every morning. I get a clip ready. I edit. Then we think of what we're going to do for the day. Then we plan out our next week's video. It's just writing stuff down, staying on top of everything, making sure you don't fall behind. The work ethic is the most important part, and that's why I try and take a little bit from every creator that I kind of like. I feel like that's the most important part, without a doubt.
So looking at what you basically looking at what you basically just said, as far as being consistent and whatnot. Um, brain freeze. Never mind. Brain freeze. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl between the Niners and the Chiefs?
God, it hurts me to say it. Yeah, I mean, not even a question for me. Not even close. I think the Chiefs win, and Mahomes and get their ring. And it's sad to say because I just know the Bengals. If we were there, we could have changed that. And maybe the Lions could have too. The Lions beat them earlier in the year. I was hoping the Lions might make it. The Lions would have been a good matchup for the Chiefs, even better than the Niners. I just don't see Purdy beating Mahomes. They're going to tell me Brock Purdy is going to beat Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to sit here and laugh for a second because it's going to make me laugh. Like, okay.
It's not just it's not just Brock Purdy, but who defense is better? The 49ers defense better than the Chiefs defense. Who has the
on
better
paper?
receivers?
On paper.
Who got the better? The 49ers have better receivers.
No. I'm talking about defense. The Chiefs ranked number 2 or 3 in defense this
and
year.
the 49ers
People don't know
have been
about
in the
that.
top 5 all season.
No, not when they hired Steve Wilkes. Their defense can't stop the run, and we've seen that today with the Lions. And they allow big plays. You can look at the stats.
The Lions did the same thing the Ravens did. They stopped running the football. They did the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
They stopped running the ball.
Yes, and then the Niners, they got players. They got Warner. They got Chase Young. They got Nick Bosa. They got Lenore, the young corner. I love him. Travaris Ward. All these good players, but if you look up their numbers, they haven't played up to what they should be. I think it's a defensive coordinator issue with Steve Wilkes. He stepped in, and he doesn't know how to use these guys. I don't know what it is, but you can look up the stats. They're not ranked as highly as they should. They should be the number 1 defense. They got all these. Fred Warner, best linebacker in the league, without a question. Nick Bosa, probably top 2, top 3 defensive end in the league, without a question. Chase Young had that potential, and he's kind of taken a backseat. I don't know what he's not having the year he should. I don't think their defensive coordinator puts them in the position to win the best way that he could, and that's what is hurting them right now because they have the talent. So it's really confusing for me to watch them and just see them give up these big plays, 31 points to the Lions, and know that they have such a good defense, but the Chiefs are holding the Ravens to 10 points. The Chiefs held the Ravens to 10 points. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. So that's what I lean on. This Chris Jones-led defense in Kansas City. I don't see the Niners putting up a ton of points on them. And then it comes down to quarterback play at the end of the day. Purdy's going to make mistakes. Patrick Mahomes, I think, has like 4 or 5 total interceptions in playoffs in his entire career. He's not going to make these mistakes that Purdy will make, and he's going to give the Chiefs too many chances to just keep pounding them. And I almost think the Ravens were that better test than the Niners because the Ravens have that number 1 defense in the league. They like that. And you saw today they were holding them the entire game, gave Lamar multiple opportunities, and the Ravens really should have won the game. If you want my honest opinion, they didn't take over what they could have. Missed opportunities, and the Chiefs, unfortunately, are probably going to win because it's not a good matchup. The Chiefs, Niners, they don't match up well. Lions and Chiefs would have been a great matchup. The Lions already beat them. I know it was first game of the year, but just so many weapons on the Lions. They run the ball great. They're one of the best run-stopping teams in the league, so the Chiefs' run game would have been negated, so it would have been all on Mahomes. There's been a way better game, in my opinion, but that's how I look at it.
Last question. So last question. How did you feel about the brother of John Harbaugh coming to the Chargers, and in 2024, they're going to play against each other? The Chargers versus Ravens is going to be heavily televised, all right? Jim Harbaugh has unfinished business in the NFL. He's been successful in Michigan, even though all you Michigan fans say, "Bye, he goes to NFL." You know damn well it was time. He took y'all to a national championship. He did what he was supposed to do. What is Jim Harbaugh going to look like with Justin Herbert? I said that are possibly going to win the division if Andy Reid retires. There is rumors that Andy Reid might retire after this season. If he wins the Super Bowl, he gets his third ring, he walks to the sunset. And I said maybe either Eric Bieniemy comes back as the head coach, or Bill Belichick maybe gets to Patrick Mahomes because he doesn't have a job, or I don't know, Mike Vrabel will fit the Kansas City Chiefs. But how do you feel about Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers? Are they going to make some noise next year? Because I said on the episode earlier this week, I said that the number one head coach and quarterback duo will be Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh.
So I 100% agree, by the way. I have pause for concern, especially them being in the AFC with my Bengals. It's another team we have to watch out for, and they previously weren't. I wasn't worried about the Chargers until they got Harbaugh, because their coach previously, he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know how to use Herbert and these guys. They're just terrible, terrible. You get one of the best coaches in the world, regardless of NFL, college football, all that. He went and won a national championship in college. Also has been in the Super Bowl already before. So you've seen him coach on both levels and his ability to do so at a high level. He's going to bring a different dimension to that defense, who I've thought for the last couple of years is one of the best on paper. You got Derwin James, you got Joey Bosa, you got all these guys, but they're terrible. They can't guard anybody. I think it's a schematic issue with whoever the coaches are there. Harbaugh's going to fix that instantly. He's going to make sure they're applying pressure, they're playing well. They're going to be a better running team with Eckler. I think that helps out, obviously, coming from Michigan where they have a run-heavy scheme. You're getting Eckler, a great running back. It's going to help Herbert even more with that. I just got questions about Herbert. If you want my honest opinion, I don't know. There's too much talent on this Chargers team. They got Mike, Ken. I think they make too many excuses. You give Burrow that team, they're in the playoffs. They're winning games. I just haven't seen enough from Herbert to show me he's got that, that fourth quarter, I'm going to win the game. I'm going to do that. He's talented, but does he have that clutch gene? Does he have what it takes to push you over the edge? I've seen them make too many, they're supposed to win this game, and they lose. It's like, what? I don't know. I need to see it from Herbert before I can say they're going to be that. So if I believe in him because of Harbaugh, but Herbert gives me pause for concern, and I don't know if he's like that necessarily. He's very good, but I don't know if he's a Super Bowl quarterback, I guess I'm saying.
All right, well, Total Pro Nation is it for Lambo and Matt's World of Sports. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to Total Pro Nation. And want to thank Silas for the platform. Before we go, like I said, go follow NonStopTV on all platforms. All right, all platforms. And follow the greatest YouTuber of all time, who has become my brother for a while, which he's great. Appreciate you for hopping on for the fourth time in 8 months. Like I said, they got 57.1K subscribers. Get them to 100K. Doesn't matter what the time frame is, but they'll do it. Like I said, I am not saying what video they're going to release next week because you should be watching the show. He already gave you a spoiler. And I will not be saying anything outside of the social media. But if you want to follow NonStopTV, you better follow NonStopTV for the greatest content of all time. Watch the Ordering Pizza in the Speedo and watch the funniest prank of 2023. The great content that is worth 50 minutes of content if you're having a bad day. Watch them all because I watched every single video. If it's scrolled in red on my phone, I've watched every single video. So like I said, Total Pro Nation, we will be back later because we have to talk about some NFL. But later night episode, tune in to Deer, the greatest of all time. Adios. Y'all take care.